Hello, my name is Emma, and today I'm going to guide you through probably three easy exercises to help to discharge and dissolve the fight state in your central nervous system. So that's a sympathetic state in your central nervous system, a dysregulated state, and it's that fight response. So we're going to do about three exercises or movements, unless I come up with another one. But first, I'm going to just give a bit of an explanation about what is the fight response, how it feels, how to recognize it within yourself, and why you would want to dissolve it in the first place. Okay, so enjoy. So the fight response is one of the 3 to 4. I say this because there's fight, flight, freeze, and then apparently there's a fawn state in our central nervous system. I'm not sure how much a fawn state is a literal sympathetic or nervous system state in our body, or whether it's a way of emotionally responding to an event to stay safe. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but we could look into that scientifically. But the fight state is, I think, pretty obvious if you think about it. You've got the fight, flight. So flight is the running. Freezing is the shutting down. When both the fight and flight were not successful, the body shuts down and goes into a freeze state. A lot of animals do this when they're being attacked in nature and maybe the prey has got them in a lockhold. The fight state is the obvious, the pushing back, the fighting, the protecting, the active movement. There's a charge of energy there's a level of aggression often to protect ourselves from a threat or a danger, whether that's real or imagined. It is literally the fight for your life. And that's the way that your nervous system, body, psyche perceives the event, or the way that it needs to respond in the moment. So often that's going to feel like a huge kind of charge of energy through your system. It's obviously because if you're punching, you're pushing back, you could be running, but that's part of the flight state. But this charge of energy tends to run through our nervous system, and if it doesn't get a opportunity to complete itself, it can kind of run through our system and then kind of get locked. So this sympathetic state, this fight state, can get activated, but if for whatever reason it's not able to complete its kind of circuit in a way, or find its completion with expressing itself, so if you don't literally have to push someone off of you, or you're not able to for whatever reason, which we'll go into a moment, if it's not able to complete itself, it can kind of get locked in place or activated without release. And when this state in our nervous system is activated without release, you'll notice within yourself and in others often a highly irritated state. And I want to be full disclosure here for a moment, and forgive me if I keep looking at my own self. It's sometimes so much easier to look at another person than the camera. So apologies if I keep doing that. You'll be able to see in yourself or in others if and now I'm just looking out into space. If someone is really like quick to temper, they're really irritated, everything that happens in that day is annoying them. They're kind of like really jumpy, but in a way they will be like ready to react. Their first response to things that irritate them is to bite back, whether that's through words or through their body language. There is this unconscious and reactionary need to, fight. They're literally just playing out a fight state in their life. They're wanting to fight back at life. And oftentimes, there could be various things that influence why that happens. But if it is a nervous system thing, if they are running a fight state in their system, oftentimes it's just this. It's this unresolved energy that never got its chance to complete, to protect itself. And the system is still active, trying to protect you from perceived threat. And for whatever reason, it hasn't been able to calm down, to settle, or to release that pressure. Now, there's a few examples I want to give, but an example of being able to release that pressure in a sporting sense, first thing I think of is boxing. And that's so obvious because it's fighting, but you're getting a chance to physically protect, push back, and to release that energy. Another example I did want to talk about is to how to notice this is, okay, so someone's really irritated, they're fighting back against life, everything's kind of going wrong, and they haven't had a chance to discharge that energy. And you'll see this often in movies. It's like a storyline that happens a lot. And okay, so an event has occurred, the fight state has activated, probably an emotional event has occurred, and they haven't had a chance to process the emotions connected as well. So if you've got those two things happening, which is often the case, and this person is going about their day, they haven't taken a moment to actually process or calm down, discharge, or they don't have the tools to know how to do that. And you'll see in these movies, a person, they stub their toe, or they drop something on their foot, or they run into something, or they have like a minor accident, and their system will be reactivated into like a trauma state. So the nervous system goes into that real sympathetic protect state. And oftentimes, especially in movies and in real life, like it happens with me, oftentimes that person will just break down, and that emotional tension will release whatever that fight state was protecting them from, if there are emotions included in the event, starts to release and dissolve, and that fight state can often start to relax. But if there is not like an obvious emotion involved in why we're in a fight state, and it's just simple, like a physical event has occurred, like maybe a car has come at you in a wrong direction, you want to fight back, but that anger hasn't had its chance to resolve, there are just basic exercises and things you can do, which you might naturally do anyway, that help release that fight state out. And so I'm going to show you some of those movements which I've learned for myself and which I've intuitively sensed as well, and learnt through yoga classes and stuff I've taught as well. So enjoy. I will timestamp these exercises in the description so you can jump to them, but we're going into them now, so all is well. Okay, so this first exercise I'm guiding you through is arms pushing against the wall. It's a fairly safe exercise to do in that it keeps you safe, it keeps others safe, generally speaking, and unless you are the Hulk, it's hopefully going to keep your wall safe as well. So I like this one. It's quite powerful. You can actually release a lot of anger and charge in a way that feels like practical, like you're not punching pillows to oblivion and all this kind of stuff. Punching pillows is one that we're going to do, but it's simple. There's a right amount of pushback that you're going to get from the wall that allows that charge to release, that anger to release, without without breaking something, hopefully. Okay, so I've got to remember I've got a carpet underneath my foot, so I'll move that out of the way. Okay, so it's just very simple. You're just connecting to your body, connect to your breath, and then just kind of push and feel into, like often with the fight response, there's anger, there's irritation, there's emotion. You're probably having fights in your head. Connect with that feeling and just push against it. Bend your knees, move your feet off the ground, push. I like to kind of bounce because it allows like the sensation of actually pushing back instead of one just push. And breathe through it. A few times. You can even imagine pushing against whatever it is that's driving you insane. And you can relax out of that. I feel so much more relaxed. Pull the carpet back. Okay, so it's quite exhausting, but it's good. It means we're actually discharging energy, and I've found when I've done this in the past, when I'm in a really fight kind of state, I feel a relief. I feel less like I want to punch something or like have an argument. Okay, so I'm going to take us into the next couple of exercises. Okay, this next exercise I have a pillow for, so you might need a pillow for, or you can find like a couch or something. And I'm just going to sit down while I get us prepared. I didn't realize how satisfying this video is going to be, letting me deal with all my own pent up stuff. And I thought it was kind of perfect today that I chose to make this fight and flight video, because for the first time in quite a while, I woke up in a fight state and I thought, that's perfect. I'm going to be teaching something that I'm living through right now. And that's how I like to do pretty much everything anyway. But I thought on the exact day that I decided to do this, I have a fight state. Okay, so find yourself a pillow. I think ideally like a couch is going to be good, because you're going to be hitting into like, I love that I'm like teaching a boxing class kind of. You're going to be hitting into a softer surface. There's going to be less impact. I have a kind of thick and soft pillow, but it's kind of firmer under here, but it's fine. I've tested it. So just basically banging into a pillow. And you can be playful about it. A lot of it is just expressing. It doesn't even have to be anger. It can just be charged. But if there's anger, just... And you get the picture. I need to move my camera around. Anyway, you get the picture with that one. I have one more exercise. Okay, final exercise I'm teaching today. I came up with this one through my yoga classes that I would teach in person. And I can't actually remember whether I learned it from someone else. I must have, but I've been using it in my classes for years. I find it to be just like a great way for people to release tension, self-consciousness, and to get into a more playful energy. And it's also a really good way to release charge through your body. So you want to keep your knees, I've taught this in a recent video as well. I think it's the intuitive yoga class as well. So you want to keep your knees slightly bent, bringing both arms overhead. Breathe in, keeping your knees bent, and then swing through. So let your head come through, gently bend through your upper body. Breathe in, lift up, and you can actually make a sound if you want. So breathe in. It feels so good. We did 2 more on each side. Breathe in. One more time. I love when I think about the fact that I'm putting this on the internet. Okay, that's a great one. And you can kind of shake your arms about if you want. Okay, we are back on the stool. And I'm settling myself after all of those exercises. And I hope that if you gave them a try, that you were allowing yourself to settle as well. I thought a really good way to close out this video would be just to kind of guide us into a very simple meditation, just a way to settle that energy. So if you'd like to, just placing the palms of your hands over your knees. Your knees can be seated, rested, wherever they are. It's just because you can't see my knees right now. So my palms are cupped over my knees. Feeling your feet on the ground, hopefully, if that's comfortable for you. If you're like seated on like a couch or something, just feeling your feet in contact with whatever your feet are touching. Okay, so feeling your feet on the ground, close your eyes and just breathing in and out through your nose. You can breathe out through your mouth if you like as well. Really feeling into your hips. Let your breath flow into your hips, into your belly area, and really feel connected to like your coccyx, your hips, your thighs. So really allowing yourself to settle into your body, kind of ground all that movement and just kind of feel centered and grounded in your body, feeling your feet, breathing here. Notice how you're feeling in your arms and your chest. Let yourself breathe however feels best for you, whether that's in and out through your nose, your mouth. Your breath is your nervous system's one of the ways it discharges energy. So If it wants to breathe through your mouth, just let it do that, or through your nose in a more relaxing breath. Just a couple more breaths here. Okay, and when you're ready and feeling like you want to open your eyes and kind of connect with the outside world again, just to finish off this class, eyes are open. And this class, this video, I just wanted to mention that with exercises like that, moving through a fight state in your nervous system, sometimes, like I said before, about the emotional processing aspect that can be a part of it, sometimes if releasing and dissolving that charge of fight in our body was a thing that was connected to an event that had emotion, you might experience some emotions to process. You might have anger that you don't understand, or grief, sadness, or whatever. There could be all sorts of feelings. You might actually have joy and happiness that you're finally freeing yourself from whatever you were suppressing. And what I'm really trying to say there is just allow yourself to be with it, and be with it by just try not to try and stop the feelings from happening unless they're making you or others unsafe. Allow yourself to process those feelings in a safe way for you personally, and be with the sensation. Also, if you find that through releasing some of those energies and emotions, other stuff comes up for you that's a little bit deeper that you need extra support with, always, always, always look into some professional support. And a great resource is your local GP. They can help you find that support if you don't know where to start. But yeah, be gentle with yourself, have some water, allow yourself to just kind of sit and be present after you've released that energy. And I would love to know how you experience those exercises, if you got some relief, if you felt any anger or fight in your system discharge and dissipate. Because this form of nervous system regulation, it's not as popular. I mean, people do talk about it, but people don't like to talk about anger too much and that intensity too much. It's a power in it, and because it has, anger can often be behind volatile things that aren't great. There's this having to find safety with the feelings of our own anger, and trusting ourselves to manage our feelings of anger in a healthy way, which we all need to learn how to do in a boundaried way, in a way that has no restrictions but is boundaried in that it respects ourselves and others as well. So it's a charged topic sometimes, but it's necessary for people to be able to release that type of energy and those types of feelings. It allows us to be more present, it allows us to be more heart-centered, it allows us to be more reasonable as human beings, and to think more clearly. So it's a good thing, it's a positive thing. And yeah, I hope that you got benefit from these exercises. Feel free to comment or like the video, or however you want to let me know you enjoyed it. I have a playlist of nervous system regulation exercises and tools, which I will link in the description below, and yoga classes and meditations, all that kind of stuff. And I have a video called What is Nervous System Regulation, where I answer some questions about what the benefits are, why you'd want to do it. And I will link that one as well. Okay, thank you for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.